Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into something that's really reshaping our world, the global market for solar cells and modules.
That's right. It's a huge topic.
Definitely. We've got this great report, Solar Cells and Modules, a global market forecast to 2033. And we're going to pull out the really key insights for you.
Yeah, try and make sense of the big picture and some of the, surprising details maybe.
Exactly. Because the solar industry, I mean, it's changing so fast, isn't it? This report really highlights that.
It absolutely does. The growth is just phenomenal.
Okay, so let's unpack that right away. Just how big are we talking? The report says the global market back in 2021 was already, wow, over $37 billion.
A pretty significant number to start with.
Right. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's projected to climb to over $52 billion by 2025.
Okay.
And then, get this, more than double again by 2033. We're looking at $106 billion.
Over $100 billion. That's massive.
It really is. And that reflects a strong compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 9.2%.
And what's fascinating there, I think, is not just the final number, but how steady that growth seems to be. It's projected out consistently over, more than a decade. This isn't just a quick boom.
Good point. It suggests a real sustained global shift, right? Not just a trend.
Exactly. A fundamental change in how we're looking at energy infrastructure.
Okay, so we got that big global picture, impressive growth, but the really juicy details often come out when we look at the regions.
Always. The regional breakdown tells the story.
So let's do that. Let's explore where this solar surge is really hitting hardest. How about we kick off with North America? A major player, obviously.
Makes sense.
So the market there was valued at nearly $12.5 billion in 2021.
Okay.
It's expected to hit over $17 billion by 2025, and then keep climbing to over $34.7 billion by 2033.
Right, so still very strong growth there.
Yeah, a CAGR of almost 9%, 8.945% to be exact. Now, within North America, the U.S., no surprise, leads the way. It goes from about $8.5 billion in 2021 up to over $22.9 billion predicted for 2033. But here's something that kind of jumped out at me. Canada.
Oh, what about Canada?
Well, it's set to almost triple its market size. It starts at $2.3 billion in 2021, and the forecast takes it to over $7.2 billion by 2033.
Wow, triple.
Yeah, and that's with a really impressive CAGR of over 10%, 10.043%. Mexico's showing solid growth, too, by the way.
That Canadian number, that double-digit CAGR, that's really notable, isn't it? Especially within a region that's already growing strongly.
It is.
When you see growth like that, it often points to maybe, supportive policies really kicking in, or perhaps some major utility projects finally coming online.
Could be, or even like a bigger push for rooftop solar.
Possibly, yeah. Broader adoption across the board. It suggests they're really scaling things up seriously north of the border.
Okay, let's hop across the Atlantic, Europe. Also a pretty compelling story.
Okay.
Their market was around $8.4 billion back in 2021. Projected to hit nearly $11.8 billion by 2025.
Right.
And the forecast for 2033 is over $23.1 billion. So a steady CAGR there too, 8.831%.
Still very solid growth.
Definitely. And you see the big players contributing: Germany, UK, France, Italy.
The usual suspects, you might say.
Kind of. But here's a little twist. There's this category, rest of Europe, grouping together the smaller market. That category actually shows the strongest growth rate within the whole region. It goes from just over $200 million in 2021.
Tiny start.
Tiny start, yeah. But it surges to over $830 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of, wait for it, 12.266%.
12%. For the rest of Europe, that's really interesting. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
What's driving that? Is it lots of different national pushes all adding up? Or maybe because they started from a lower base, the percentage growth looks higher?
Could be a bit of both, perhaps.
Perhaps. Or maybe it's just widespread residential and commercial solar taking off across many countries simultaneously. It suggests the adoption is broadening out, beyond just the big economies.
That's a great point. The report doesn't detail every single country in that group, but yeah, you often see a mix. Maybe new national targets, plus solar just getting cheaper.
Making it viable even without huge solar farms.
Exactly. Distributed generation adding up. Okay, now,
Asia Pacific.
Because this is where the scale is just, wow.
Yeah, this is the powerhouse region, right?
Absolutely. Valued at over $6.3 billion in 2021.
Yeah.
Expected to reach nearly $9.3 billion by 2025.
Okay.
And forecasted to hit truly a staggering $19.7 billion by 2033.
Almost $20 billion.
Right. Growing at a strong 9.893% CAGR overall for the region.
Huge numbers.
Huge. And China, naturally, is leading this market. But India's growth is really
Yeah.
impressive too,
Yeah.
almost tripling its market. From about $0.8 billion in 2021 to over $3 billion predicted for 2033.
That's significant growth.
It is.
Yeah.
But wait, the highest growth rate in the whole Asia-Pacific region,
Go on.
Taiwan. It increases from $113 million in 2021, tiny again, to over $450 million by 2033. That's a CGR of 12.549%.
Over 12.5%. Wow.
Yeah. And we also see, strong contributions from Japan, South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Southeast Asia. It's broad.
The sheer volume, though, and these consistent, often double-digit growth rates across so many different countries there, it just underscores how critical Asia-Pacific is to the whole global solar picture. It's not just deployment. It's massive investment, rapid tech adoption.
And maybe strategic moves towards energy independence for some.
Absolutely. Or just meeting rapidly rising energy demand. It really feels like the engine room for global solar right now.
You can definitely sense that momentum.
Here.
Okay, finally, let's quickly look at the other regions, South America, the Middle East, and Africa. Maybe smaller markets currently, but showing incredible potential.
The emerging frontiers, perhaps?
Yeah, good way to put it. South America expected to reach over $10.7 billion by 2033. That's up from nearly $4 billion in 2021.
Solid growth.
And you see countries like Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, all showing strong individual growth there. Then the Middle East, forecasted to more than triple, reaching over $10.3 billion in 2033, up from about $3.1 billion.
Triple. That's impressive.
It is, with a strong CAGR over 10.5%. And Saudi Arabia really stands out here.
How so?
Their CAGR is projected at 11.295%. Followed closely by Turkey, the UAE also strong at 10.9%, Egypt, and Qatar is up there too with 10.6%.
That concentration of really high growth in the Middle East is fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
For a region so historically linked to fossil fuels, this signals a major strategic investment in renewables. It's not just potential, it's happening.
Definitely. And lastly, Africa, projected to reach nearly $8 billion by 2033. That's up from about $2.7 billion in 2021.
Okay.
Nigeria and South Africa are noted as showing solid growth, contributing a lot to the region's overall 8.85% CAGR.
So still strong growth, even if the total market size is smaller than, say, Asia-Pacific. It all adds up. These regions, Middle East, parts of Africa, alongside South America, they represent huge future growth areas.
Absolutely. So wrapping this all up, what does it mean for you listening? I mean, the picture this report paints is incredibly clear, isn't it?
Undeniably. Exponential growth pretty much everywhere.
Right. The solar cells and modules market is on this massive global upward trajectory. Asia Pacific, the Middle East, North America, they seem to be the key drivers right now.
Leading the charge.
And remember those standout countries, the ones with those really impressive double-digit KGIs. We had Taiwan.
Yep, over 12.5%.
Saudi Arabia, over 11%. India, over 10.7%, and Canada, just over 10%.
All pointing towards a really dynamic, bright future for solar adoption.
Exactly. It underlines that this isn't just, an environmental nice-to-have.
No. It's a core part of the global economy now, a powerhouse.
It really is solidifying that position.
Okay.
So as we finish this deep dive, here's something to think about, a provocative thought perhaps. With these different speeds of adoption, these varied market growth rates we're seeing across regions, how might this big accelerating shift to solar start to redefine things like global energy independence?
Good question. Shifting power balances, maybe?
Could be. And what about international relations in the next decade? And thinking more locally, what kind of impact could this have on, say, local economies or tech innovation, especially in some of those, unexpected places or emerging markets we talked about?
Lots to consider there. The ripple effects could be huge.
Definitely something to mull over. We hope this deep dive gave you a clearer picture and some valuable insights into this really powerful global trend.
Yeah, hope it was useful.
Thanks for joining us.